Chapter 2138. The armored burly man glanced at Lu Ming and was shocked. With his cultivation, he could easily see through Lu Ming's cultivation. Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the quasi-emperor level, so he did not take it to heart. He never expected Lu Ming to be the #1 supreme talent in the Yuan realm. Could Lu Ming be stronger than the Destiny's Child? The heavenly talents of the Heaven realm also looked at Lu Ming in surprise. "So it's you, General. I'll take him on." A voice rang out, and a black-robed youth stepped out of the war chariot and walked towards Lu Ming. This person was dressed in a black robe and had long hair like a waterfall. His face was cold and arrogant, and his eyes were sharp. He was the youth that Lu Ming had met in the other world. At that time, this person was with the purple-haired youth, and the two of them seemed to be fellow disciples. At that time, Lu Ming had fought with this person, but the other party seemed to have something to do and ignored Lu Ming. He had wanted to fight for a long time. Now that he heard that Lu Ming was the #1 supreme talent in the Yuan realm, he could not wait to attack. "Let's fight. Let me see how strong you are." The black-robed youth stared at Lu Ming, and the arrogance in his eyes intensified. His aura shot up to the sky. He was a 2-star Void Emperor. Buzz! Buzz! Then, 6 pitch-black vortexes appeared behind him, spinning continuously. These were reincarnation vortexes that wanted to swallow people into the cycle of reincarnation. This person was a son of reincarnation. In fact, after becoming a martial emperor, there was almost no need to call one a son of heaven. This was because after becoming a martial emperor, there were people who could cultivate the strongest laws. Those who did so after becoming a martial emperor could not be called a son of heaven. However, it was difficult to distinguish who was born and who was born. Therefore, after becoming a martial emperor, people rarely used such a title. However, the black-robed youth's reincarnation law had an extremely oppressive aura. The 6 vortexes seemed to want to swallow the entire world. "Remember, the person who defeated you is called Li Yu." After saying that, the black-robed youth pressed down with one hand, and the 6 vortexes pressed down on Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. Li Yu's battle prowess was definitely above Yuan Xian and even Tian Ming. His cultivation was at the pinnacle of the 2-star illusionary emperor realm. He was no weaker than Tian Ming and Yuan Xian. Moreover, his reincarnation law had already broken through to the 2nd level. Lu Ming did not hold back and directly exploded with his full strength. The 5 types of laws all burst out, and a 5-colored river of laws surrounded his body. Whoosh! Lu Ming soared into the sky and struck out with his palm. Rumble! The terrifying palm force slammed into the 6 reincarnation vortexes, causing them to tremble incessantly. Li Yu's body also trembled as he retreated continuously. 2 supreme laws? Impossible! How is this possible? A shocked voice came out of Li Yu's mouth. He widened his eyes and stared at Lu Ming in disbelief. He had actually sensed 2 supreme laws from Lu Ming. This was absolutely unbelievable. He was not the only one. The other geniuses of the Heaven realm also widened their eyes and stared at Lu Ming in a daze. They had the expression of a virgin who had not seen the world. "Now it's your turn to be shocked." Some of the geniuses of the primordial realm were excited. When they saw that the geniuses of the Heaven domain were shocked, they were delighted. Boom! Even the armored burly man could not control himself. A terrifying aura erupted from his body, and his eyes widened. He was dumbfounded. At the same time, a terrifying and oppressive aura permeated between heaven and earth. This aura made people feel as if they were facing the might of the heavens and could not resist it. It was as if they were ants. The stronger one's cultivation, the deeper the feeling. Many of the great emperors' faces changed drastically, and they broke out in cold sweat. They looked at the figure sitting on the Heaven domain's war chariot. The heaven-like aura came from this figure. This figure had been shrouded in divine light, and his appearance could not be seen clearly. Before this, he had been very calm, and there was no abnormality. At this time, after seeing Lu Ming erupt with 2 supreme laws, this figure fluctuated and revealed a trace of aura. Sky. Sky Emperor. A martial monarch spoke with great difficulty. The hearts of the crowd shuddered. Sky Emperor. The figure sitting on the war chariot was actually the Sky Emperor. The Sky Emperor contained the might of the heavens. However, the aura was restrained as soon as it was released, and the terrifying pressure disappeared. You can comprehend 2 supreme laws and 3 supreme laws of the path of kings in the boundary emperor realm. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect the primordial realm to have such a person. Continue, let me experience it. Li Yu was not shocked but delighted. His fighting spirit was stronger. He laughed and rushed towards Lu Ming. Along the way, his aura became stronger, and another law also spread out. Li Yu had mastered 2 laws, one was the reincarnation law, and the other was the path of kings. However, the path of kings had not broken through to the 2nd realm, and was only at the 1st realm. However, it also increased Li Yu's combat strength by a level. 6 paths of reincarnation fist. Li Yu stretched out his arms and punched out. The fist carried the power of laws and crushed towards Lu Ming. Sword of Death. Lu Ming used one of his strongest killing moves, the Sword of Death. A huge battle sword condensed and was held in Lu Ming's hand. Previously, Lu Ming used this move to cut off Tian Ming's River of Destiny. Swoosh! The Sword of Death slashed out violently. Boom! An earth-shattering roar sounded. The Sword of Death collided with the other party's fist light, stirring up endless energy. The force was like a raging wave, wave after wave, sweeping in all directions. Boom! The 2 of them retreated 100 meters each. Li Yu was indeed stronger than Tian Ming. Previously, Lu Ming could cut off Tian Ming's River of Destiny with a sword, but now, he could not defeat Li Yu. Again. Li Yu roared and charged towards Lu Ming again. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist covered the sky and the earth as it charged towards Lu Ming. Come on! Lu Ming roared, his eyes revealing an excited fighting spirit. He was indeed excited. In the Yuan realm, among the younger generation, he was already invincible. Once the Sword of Death was used, even Tian Ming would be defeated. But now, Li Yu was able to fight with him. This would allow Lu Ming to continue perfecting the Sword of Death. Lu Ming was only at the initial stage of the Sword of Death. He could barely exert the mysteries of the 4 laws, but he was still far from mastering it. Only in a great battle could he continue to perfect it. Boom! Boom! The 2 of them charged at each other, fighting and resisting each other. It was incomparably intense. I didn't expect there to be such a character in the Yuan realm. The young man from the heavenly realm had a rare solemn expression. Lu Ming is indeed powerful. He can fight against the geniuses of the heavenly realm. The geniuses of the Yuan realm smiled and finally felt a little better. Previously, the geniuses of the Yuan realm were completely suppressed by the geniuses of the heavenly realm. Although the heavenly realm had more resources, so their opponents were stronger, and they were not bad in terms of talent, they were still unhappy. Chapter 2139. The battle was very intense, and in the blink of an eye, over 100 moves had passed. Awesome, awesome! Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He realized that as the battle continued, the power of his Sword of Death became stronger and stronger, and he became more proficient in the use of the 4 laws. This kid is using Li Yu to cultivate his supernatural powers. What a terrifying talent! The armored burly man saw through Lu Ming's purpose and was secretly shocked. Damn it! Li Yu roared in his heart because he realized that the more they fought, the stronger Lu Ming became. In the beginning, they were evenly matched, but now, he was faintly suppressing him. He was furious. He couldn't be defeated by a prodigy of the primordial realm. He roared and tried his best to fight Lu Ming. Let's cultivate the hammer of chaos. Lu Ming didn't care about what Li Yu thought. Now, he was completely immersed in cultivating his supernatural powers. Suddenly, his attack changed. The sword of death disappeared, and Lu Ming used the hammer of chaos to fight fiercely with his opponent. A huge hammer was formed in Lu Ming's hand, and he smashed it at Liu. Every strike was extremely heavy and could blow up a mountain and penetrate the earth. The two fought again, and after hundreds of moves, Lu Ming's hammer of chaos became stronger and stronger. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming sometimes used the hammer of chaos and the sword of death to hone his supernatural powers. Liu, on the other hand, was having a hard time. He was completely at a disadvantage. Lu Ming was getting stronger and stronger. He roared. He didn't want to be the first person to be defeated by a prodigy of the primordial realm. He wanted to turn defeat into victory, but everything was in vain. Bam! In the end, he was hit by Lu Ming's hammer of chaos, and even the 6 reincarnation vortexes exploded. His body retreated wildly, and blood spurted out. His face was pale and extremely ugly. He was defeated by someone from the primordial realm. Great! Many youths from the primordial realm cheered. The primordial realm finally won a battle, and their defeat wasn't that bad. Lu Xiang, Ouyang Moli, and the others even jumped up and cheered. Do you still want to fight? Lu Ming glared at Liu. Again. Liu roared, unwilling to admit defeat just like that. Junior brother, stop. At this moment, a voice resounded, and then a figure stepped out. It was the violet-haired young man. Liu seemed to be very obedient towards the purple-haired youth and stopped. Junior brother, you're no match for him. If you continue fighting, you'll definitely lose. There's no need for that. Let me do it. The purple-haired youth smiled. Senior brother, you want to make a move? Liu was stunned. I can suppress my cultivation and fight with him. The purple-haired young man said. There's no need for you to do anything. How about leaving this battle to me? Another voice sounded out. It was the gray-robed youth who had defeated Yuan Xian earlier. At this moment, he stepped forward. The purple-haired young man pondered for a moment and said, you can do it too. Lu Ming, right? Make your move. Let me see your strength. The gray-robed youth spoke as a primordial chaos cauldron formed in his hand. Boom! Lu Ming couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with the other party and directly attacked. The incomparably huge primordial chaos hammer smashed towards the other party. Since the gray-robed youth dared to attack, he was definitely stronger than Liu. Lu Ming didn't hold back and went all out. The gray-robed youth waved his hand, and the primordial chaos cauldron spun and suppressed Lu Ming. 2 types of laws. The gray-robed youth also controlled 2 types of laws. One was the strongest law, and the other was the ruler law. However, like Liu, his ruler law had yet to reach the 2nd level. However, his mastery of the primordial chaos law was obviously deeper. Boom! The primordial chaos hammer and the primordial chaos cauldron collided. Lu Ming felt a terrifying force surge through the primordial chaos hammer. Lu Ming's body shook and he retreated a few steps. However, the primordial chaos cauldron was also sent flying and was caught by the gray-robed youth. He's stronger than Liu. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. The other party's mastery of the primordial chaos law was obviously deeper and stronger. However, Lu Ming wasn't afraid. He was only excited. Another person had come to hone his skills. Lu Ming stepped into the void and charged toward the gray-robed youth. Boom! Boom! After more than 10 moves, although Lu Ming was slightly at a disadvantage, he wasn't defeated. He became stronger as he fought and comprehended super skills in the battle. You want to use me as a whetstone? Impossible. I didn't say that I would suppress my cultivation to fight with you. The gray-robed youth said coldly. In the next moment, a shocking aura erupted from his body. It was much stronger than before. 3-star illusionary emperor. This was the gray-robed youth's true cultivation. He had already reached the peak of the 3-star illusionary emperor realm. He was just one step away from becoming a 4-star illusionary emperor. The gray-robed youth's cultivation erupted, and his battle strength soared. Lose for me. The gray-robed youth waved his hand, and the primordial chaos cauldron smashed toward Lu Ming again. Its power was much stronger than before. The primordial chaos cauldron suppressed the void and was as big as a mountain. Lu Ming retreated rapidly, but the primordial chaos cauldron chased after him at an astonishing speed. Boom! Lu Ming attacked with the primordial chaos hammer. The sky shook violently, and Lu Ming's body shook violently as he was sent flying a few thousand meters away. His arm shook slightly, and the web between his thumb and forefinger was torn, with blood seeping out. The difference between each rank in the martial emperor realm was huge. A 3-star illusionary emperor was much stronger than a 2-star illusionary emperor. If it was an ordinary 3-star illusionary emperor, Lu Ming could kill him instantly. However, the gray-robed youth was a genius among geniuses. He could kill opponents of a higher rank than him, and Lu Ming was no match for him. Buzz! The primordial chaos cauldron shook again and pressed down on Lu Ming. Lu Ming was sent flying again. His blood boiled, and blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. I can only use the 3rd bloodline. Lu Ming squinted his eyes. With a thought, the energy of the 3rd bloodline continuously flowed into Lu Ming's body, causing Lu Ming's body to be covered in a layer of blood-red light. Lu Ming's aura skyrocketed, and his killing intent was endless. Dong! Lu Ming held the primordial chaos hammer and sent the primordial chaos cauldron flying. Hiss hiss hiss, gasps could be heard at the scene. Countless people looked at Lu Ming with their mouths agape. Lu Ming still had energy left. He had not used his full strength before. How was this possible? They were shocked. How could this be? Tian Ming, Yuan Xin, and the others were also shocked. Lu Ming had defeated them without using his full strength, which was a huge blow to them. It's this kind of secret technique. Xing Xinghe's face was extremely ugly. Back in the Lotus world, Lu Ming had used this kind of secret technique to defeat him. Some experts from the Heng family, He family, and other forces were even more shocked. Lu Ming was too terrifying. Some of the Heaven Boundaries geniuses also had grave expressions. Kill! The gray-robed youth stepped on the primordial chaos cauldron and charged toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming met the gray-robed youth head-on. After borrowing the power of the 3rd bloodline, Lu Ming's battle strength increased greatly. He continued to exchange blows with the gray-robed youth and even gained the upper hand. Alright, let's stop here. Chapter 2140. A voice sounded. The voice was clear, but it contained supreme majesty. Hearing this voice, the gray-robed youth's expression changed, and he quickly retreated. Lu Ming also stopped and did not continue to attack. He withdrew the power of the 3rd bloodline, and the bloody light on Lu Ming's body disappeared. Everyone's eyes were on the figure sitting on the chariot, shrouded in divine light. He was the one who spoke just now. At this moment, the figure stood up and stepped out of the chariot. The divine light on his body was also withdrawn, revealing his true appearance. It was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s. He wore a long robe and looked rather elegant. However, the great emperors of the Yuan realm hurriedly bowed and said, "Greetings, Lord Celestial Emperor." It was indeed the Celestial Emperor. Everyone was shocked, and then they followed suit and bowed, their voices resounding through the sky. The elegant middle-aged man nodded, and his gaze swept across Lu Ming, then swept across Tian Ming, Yuan Xin, and the others. He said, "The Yuan realm has also reached its golden age, and geniuses have gathered. Very good. Many of you are very talented. If you enter the celestial realm and receive the cultivation of the celestial realm, you will definitely rise quickly. I have decided that this time, the top 320 in the Yuan realm can follow me to the celestial realm to cultivate. Those cultivation holy lands will open their doors for you. At the same time, there will also be celestial emperors to guide you." The elegant middle-aged man said. "What? The top 320 can all go. And the Celestial Emperor will personally guide us. Many people's eyes were burning with passion. Especially those geniuses in the top 320. They were all ecstatic and excited. This meant that the 320 people who passed the selection could all go. Many who did not reach the top 320 had ugly expressions and sighed helplessly. The resources of the Celestial Realm were much better than the Yuan Realm, and there was also the guidance of the Celestial Emperor. This was too tempting. Of course, when you enter the Celestial Realm, you will also be allowed to enter the battlefield at an appropriate time. There will also be some dangers in fighting with the foreign tribes. If you are not willing to go, I will not force you. Those who are not willing to go, say it now. The elegant middle-aged man said. No one stepped forward. Who would want to miss such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Moreover, if they wanted to rise, they had to rise through fighting. None of these geniuses were afraid of fighting. Without tempering themselves, how could they set foot on the peak? Not a single person wanted to back out. Very good. The middle-aged man nodded and looked at Lu Ming with surprise in his eyes. After a while, he said, everyone in the top 320 can go, but you can't. What? These words caused everyone to be stunned. The Celestial Arch said that Lu Ming could not go. What was going on? Lu Ming's strength was obvious to all. His battle prowess was unparalleled. Although he had yet to become a martial emperor, he had already grasped 5 types of laws. 2 of them were the strongest laws, and 3 were the King Dao laws. His battle prowess was terrifying. It could be said that no one had seen such a person since ancient times. But now, the Celestial Emperor actually said that Lu Ming could not go. Could it be that there were other arrangements? Many people's imaginations ran wild. Even Lu Ming himself was stunned. Your Majesty, why can't I go? Lu Ming was a little unwilling. If he could go to the cultivation holy lands of the Heaven Realm to cultivate, and even receive the guidance of the Heavenly Emperor, his cultivation would definitely advance by leaps and bounds. In today's great world, the foreign races were invading. He did not know when a great war would break out. He had to improve his strength as soon as possible. Your physique, below the martial emperor realm, can be said to be a peerless divine body, unparalleled. The Celestial Emperor looked at Lu Ming and said slowly. Many people were shocked. Even the Celestial Emperor described Lu Ming as a peerless divine body. Wait. Someone noticed that the Celestial Emperor said below the martial emperor realm. Sure enough, the Celestial Emperor continued, but at the same time, your physique is also a peerless trash. What? Countless people were shocked. Previously, the Celestial Emperor said that Lu Ming's physique was a peerless divine body. Why did he say that Lu Ming was a peerless trash now? Everyone was puzzled and did not understand what was going on. Sigh. The Celestial Emperor sighed as if it was a pity and said, since ancient times, those who cultivate the law system know that below the martial emperor realm, one can at most comprehend 1 type of law. It is impossible to control 2 types of laws. Many people's hearts skipped a beat. Didn't Lu Ming control many types of laws? They knew that the Celestial Emperor was most likely going to reveal a big secret. The Celestial Emperor continued, however, the Heaven Realm has been passed down for countless years. At the end of the Primordial Age, the law system rose to prominence. Until now, countless years have passed. In such a long time, who knows how many geniuses have appeared? Many geniuses have amazing talent. A long time ago, there were also people who broke the rules. Below the martial emperor realm, there were people who controlled many types of laws. There were even people who controlled more laws than you, but no one could control 2 types of supreme laws at the same time. Those people below the martial emperor realm were amazing. Their combat strength was unparalleled. Not to mention those of the same level, it would be easy for them to kill an empty emperor. However, these people could never break through to the martial emperor realm. The Celestial Emperor explained in detail. Everyone was shocked and their hearts were in turmoil. They could not calm down. It turned out that in the ancient times of the Heaven Realm, there were already such heaven-defying people who controlled many types of laws and had unparalleled combat strength. However, the most shocking thing was that these people could not break through to the martial emperor realm. Lu Ming was also shocked. He was dumbfounded. He could not break through to the martial emperor realm. Impossible. Lu Ming's eyes turned red. He could not accept it. At the same time, he recalled that in that world, he had tried to break through to the martial emperor realm but failed. He had almost torn his saint heart and body apart. As everyone knows, to break through to the martial emperor realm, one must transform the laws and the saint heart into the heart of the world. Then, with the heart of the world, the saint heart can evolve into a small world. However, controlling many types of laws is difficult to balance. It can be said that there is no balance at all and it is impossible to evolve the heart of the world. Once you force a breakthrough, the terrifying power of the laws will tear your saint heart and body apart. In history, geniuses like you have taken two paths. One is to force a breakthrough and then be torn to death by the power of the laws. The other is to be trapped in the quasi-emperor realm for the rest of your life until your life is exhausted and you die of depression. Rumble. The celestial emperor's words were like thunder, exploding in Lu Ming's mind. This was because what the celestial emperor said was too similar to what he had faced. No. Impossible. Lu Ming was dumbfounded. His eyes were bloodshot. He could not accept this fact. If he could not break through to the martial emperor realm, then what was the point of cultivating? Impossible. My master will definitely break through to the martial emperor realm. My master is unparalleled. Xiang Xiang shouted. Her face was pale and she could not accept it. No. Ouyang Moli, Chiu Chiu Moon, Huang Ling, Long Chen, and the others shook their heads. They could not believe it. The scene was in an uproar. Chapter 2141. Lu Ming had defied the heavens and emerged as the champion of the Battle of 10 Earths. He stood at the peak of all the geniuses. Without a doubt, Lu Ming was the most dazzling in this Battle of 10 Earths. No one could compare to him. He had defeated Yuan Xian, Tian Ming, and even the geniuses of the heaven domain. This was destined to be recorded in the annals of history. Previously, everyone thought that Lu Ming had a boundless future and that his future achievements were unimaginable. They thought that he would become a peak expert. Some powerful forces even planned to befriend Lu Ming and build a good relationship with Lu Ming. But now, the Heavenly Emperor said that Lu Ming could not break through to the martial emperor realm and would be trapped in the quasi-emperor realm for the rest of his life. No one doubted the Heavenly Emperor's words. It could be said that Lu Ming's fate was sealed. What a pity. A rare genius. What a pity. Some people from the major forces sighed. They had planned to befriend Lu Ming and build a good relationship with Lu Ming. But now, they gave up on that idea. If he could not break through to the martial emperor realm, no matter how strong he was, he would not be taken seriously by these major forces. Below the martial emperor realm, no matter how strong he was, how strong could he be? Any true emperor would be able to crush him. Ha ha ha, the heavens have eyes, the heavens have eyes. The Han clan, He clan, Daluo Heaven's sect, Ancient Moon Sacred Grounds Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and other forces laughed crazily in their hearts. They were too excited. It was simply a blessing from the heavens. Previously, the abilities that Lu Ming displayed made them tremble with fear. They were scared to death. They were afraid that Lu Ming would rise and find them to settle the score. But now, Lu Ming could not break through to the martial emperor realm and would be trapped in the quasi-emperor realm for the rest of his life. To them, he was no threat at all. No matter how strong a quasi-emperor was, what could he do? Peerless useless body, ha! The great emperor of the He clan sneered. He had been beaten up by Lu Ming's heavenly emperor body and had always held a grudge. For those who had a grudge against Lu Ming, there was no better news than this. On the other hand, those who were close to Lu Ming found it hard to remain calm. One by one, they sighed. The heavens are unfair. An elder from Phoenix Palace sighed. Such an outstanding talent was unprecedented in the primordial realm's history. Yet, it was difficult for him to break through to Martial Emperor. This was truly a pity. Emperor Wu Xiang and Uncle Kong couldn't believe their eyes. Your Majesty, has no one in history ever broken the shackles and stepped into the Martial Emperor realm? Uncle Kong asked. No, never. Those who wanted to break through all died. As for the others, they were stuck at Quasi-Emperor for the rest of their lives. The Celestial Darch shook his head. He felt that it was a pity. Uncle Kong's body trembled, as if he had aged many years in an instant. Ha ha ha, good, good. He's just a piece of trash. Finally, I don't have to worry about him anymore. He's just a piece of trash. To think that I even treated him as a peerless genius. Many people from the Hung family, He family, Golden Crow clan, and other forces laughed loudly, their faces full of smiles. Of course, they didn't dare to say it out loud. They only thought it in their hearts. Trash, he's only strong now. It won't be long before I surpass him in all aspects. The son of primal chaos, Yuan Xian, laughed coldly. At this moment, he was filled with confidence. Lu Ming couldn't break through to Martial Emperor, so he was no longer qualified to be his opponent. I still wanted to defeat you with my own hands in the future. I actually lost to a piece of trash. Tian Ming laughed coldly in his heart and shook his head slightly. What a pity. He was originally a very good opponent. The purple-haired youth among the celestial realm's geniuses sighed. No, my master will definitely break through. I don't believe that Lu Ming can break the shackles. Xiang and the others still found it hard to believe. No, I will definitely break through. I will definitely step into Martial Emperor. Even the heavens won't be able to stop me. Lu Ming's eyes were bloodshot as he clenched his fists tightly. His voice was filled with determination. What a joke. The Celestial Emperor already said it, but he still doesn't believe it. Wishful thinking. A middle-aged man from the Wan family couldn't help but mock. Immediately, he attracted angry gazes and immediately shut up. You want to break through by force? The Celestial Emperor looked at Lu Ming. Yes, I believe in myself. I will definitely break the shackles. The path is created by people. Even if the ancients didn't do it, it doesn't mean that I can't. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with determination. Since ancient times, no one had mastered two supreme laws at the same time. Didn't he achieve it? Breaking through to Martial Emperor by force will risk death. Are you prepared? The Celestial Emperor asked. A trace of admiration flashed in his eyes. He also sighed in his heart. Lu Ming's talent, Lu Ming's willpower, and Lu Ming's firm martial heart were all admirable. If Lu Ming didn't have a crippled body, his future would be unimaginable. It was not impossible for him to break through to Martial Emperor. I will definitely succeed. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with determination. Well, in that case, I will give you 10 days to prepare. After 10 days, I will lend you a hand and help you break through to Martial Emperor. The Celestial Emperor's voice spread in all directions. What? The Celestial Emperor was going to personally help Lu Ming break through to Martial Emperor. This was definitely a great opportunity. Damn it! The Hun clan, He clan, Ancient Moon Holy Ground, Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, and other forces were shocked. They were extremely unwilling and envious. The Celestial Emperor was going to help. Originally, they were overjoyed when they heard that Lu Ming could not break through to Martial Emperor. Now, they were afraid that Lu Ming would succeed with the help of the Celestial Emperor. They were all secretly praying that Lu Ming would not succeed. As for Lu Xiang and the others, they were overjoyed. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Lu Ming solemnly bowed to the Celestial Emperor to express his gratitude. He was sincere. He really didn't expect the Celestial Emperor to help. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Uncle Kong and Emperor Wuxiang also bowed respectfully. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Then, Lu Xiang, Ouyang Moli, Autumn Moon, Huang Ling, and the others all bowed. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Then, many people in Yuan Mountain also bowed to express their gratitude to the Celestial Emperor. For example, the ancient sacred tribe's divine emperor and some other forces. All of them knew that when the alien tribes wreaked havoc on Wanyuan Mountain, it was Lu Ming who risked his life and the few great emperors to seal the void passageway used by the alien tribes. They were grateful to Lu Ming. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. In the end, the ancient great emperor of the land of infinite demons, and even some experts of the divine fate land and other regions expressed their gratitude to the Celestial Emperor. Most of them were not so narrow-minded and had no enmity with Lu Ming. Lu Ming's talent was too high. It would be a pity if he fell silent. They all cherished talents, so they expressed their gratitude to the Celestial Emperor. You're welcome. I also cherish talents. I won't look on helplessly as an unparalleled genius slumbers. During these 10 days, I'll set up the array at this moment to help Lu Ming break through. However, Chapter 2142. The Sky Emperor spoke very bluntly and directly. The foreign tribes were invading and the heavenly realm was at war. Nurturing peerless geniuses and allowing them to grow up would mean a lot to the heavenly realm and the primordial realm. Therefore, every single resource was precious and had to be used where it was needed most. If Lu Ming could not break through to the martial emperor realm, then Lu Ming would lose his value. No matter how strong a boundary emperor was, he would be useless in the war against the foreign tribes. The heavenly realm's experts would not waste resources on a piece of trash. Therefore, if Lu Ming could not become an emperor, he could only stay in the primordial realm and could not go to the heavenly realm. I understand. Lu Ming nodded. Good, get ready. Adjust your condition to the peak. The heavenly emperor said. Lu Ming nodded and went to the side. He sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes to rest. He needed to adjust his condition, his essence, energy, and spirit to their peak. The heavenly emperor began to carve a formation on the top of Heaven's Will Mountain. The top of Heaven's Will Mountain shone with dazzling rays of light. Everyone was waiting here. In fact, the number of people had even increased. Lu Ming could be said to be a peerless genius in the history of Yuanlu. Everyone wanted to see if Lu Ming could become an emperor. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Lu Ming opened his eyes and took a step forward, stepping onto the top of Heaven's Will Mountain. Lu Ming, let's begin. The heavenly emperor said. During this period, everyone knew that the heavenly emperor was called Kong Yin and was known as Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin. Lu Ming nodded and sat cross-legged on top of Heaven's Will Mountain. You must succeed. Xiang, Ouyang Moli and the others were very nervous and clenched their fists. The Han clan, He clan, Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda and other forces were also very nervous. However, in their hearts, they hoped that Lu Ming would not succeed. Boom! Lu Ming's body emitted a powerful aura. He was about to break through. The scene was completely silent. Not a single sound could be heard. With the heavenly emperor in charge, even those forces that had a grudge against Lu Ming, such as the Mu family, did not dare to make the slightest move and disturb Lu Ming's breakthrough. Otherwise, if he angered the celestial emperor, the entire Mu clan would be buried with him. As for the Han clan and He clan, they didn't dare to make any moves. At this time, Lu Ming began to control the 5 types of laws, forming the world heart in his saint heart. However, at this moment, the 5 types of laws erupted, unable to coexist. They clashed against each other, and a terrifying tearing force burst forth. Lu Ming's body shook violently and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Just like the previous time, it was difficult for him to succeed. Lu Ming, focus your mind and focus on evolving. I will protect your body and Saint Heart. Heavenly Emperor Kong said. He stretched out his hand and pressed down. The entire peak of Heaven's Mandate Mountain was filled with tens of thousands of rays of light. Streaks of divine light appeared and enveloped Lu Ming's body, then seeped into his body and covered his Saint Heart. This was the power of the array protecting Lu Ming's body and Saint Heart. Evolve! Lu Ming roared. He no longer cared about his body and Saint Heart. He controlled the 5 types of laws with all his strength, wanting to evolve the world heart in his Saint Heart. However, the 5 types of laws were too many, and it was difficult to achieve a balance. The power clashed and stirred up each other, and a terrifying force rushed out. Lu Ming's Saint Heart and body trembled violently as they were bombarded by the destructive force. If it wasn't for Heavenly Emperor Kong protecting his Saint Heart and body, Lu Ming would have been seriously injured. His Saint Heart might even explode, and his body would be torn apart. I must succeed! Lu Ming roared. He ignored everything and went all out. Boom! Boom! A series of explosions came from Lu Ming's body as if there was an expert fighting inside Lu Ming's body. His body burst out with rays of light like a sieve, and it was extremely shocking. Poochie! Following that, Lu Ming coughed out large mouthfuls of blood, and his face turned pale. One could see that cracks were beginning to appear on his body. Not good. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin's face changed. Even with his help, Lu Ming was still injured. It wasn't that he didn't have enough power, but when Lu Ming was breaking through, the power of laws surged and directly burst out from Lu Ming's body. In the end, it might attract the power of the heavenly Tao, causing Lu Ming to self-destruct. Master! Lu Ming! At this moment, Xiang Xiang, Autumn Moon, Huang Ling, and the others were all extremely nervous. Breakthrough! Lu Ming roared and continued to break through. He had to break through. His martial path couldn't be severed just like that. Kacha! Poochie! Cracks even appeared on Lu Ming's Saint Heart, and there were even more cracks on Lu Ming's body. Blood kept seeping out, as if he would be torn apart at any time. Lu Ming, stop! You can't continue. Otherwise, you will die. Heavenly Emperor Kong shouted. Breakthrough! Lu Ming roared. His eyes were extremely persistent. He wanted to continue breaking through. Many people were moved, and many people sighed. They could understand Lu Ming's feelings. As a peerless genius, if he could only be trapped in the quasi-emperor realm for the rest of his life and couldn't break through, how sad would that be? Thinking about it from another perspective, many people would also break through at all costs. Poochie! Poochie! There were even more cracks on Lu Ming's body. Many cracks directly spurted out blood. Master! Xiang Xiang said softly, tears welling up in her eyes. Young Master! It was the same for Autumn Moon. Her heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. Everyone who was on good terms with Lu Ming revealed a look of pity. As for the Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, and other forces, they were ecstatic. They were screaming in their hearts that Lu Ming must not succeed. Poochie! At this moment, a crack appeared between Lu Ming's eyebrows. It was as if his entire head was going to split open. This was extremely dangerous. If one was not careful, his body would explode, and his soul would scatter. Stop! Heavenly Emperor Kong shouted. He pressed down with one hand, and a powerful and terrifying force entered Lu Ming's body, controlling Lu Ming. He knew that if he did not intervene, Lu Ming would only have a dead end. With the intervention of a heavenly emperor, Lu Ming could not control the laws. The laws dissipated, and he vomited blood. His face was pale. Failed. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. Failed again. And it was with the help of Heavenly Emperor Kong, but he still failed and did not break through. Could it be that he really had a peerless trash body, and could not become an emperor? He was extremely unwilling. Along the way, he had experienced countless dangers and storms. He had broken through all the barriers, and today, he had stepped onto the peak of the younger generation in the primordial realm. In the end, he was blocked by the Emperor realm. It was difficult to break through. If he could not become an emperor, everything would be in vain. If there was a great war in the future, he would be powerless and unable to protect his family. No! Lu Ming roared in his heart. He was unwilling. He would not give up. He would break the shackles and create a miracle. Lu Ming, heal your injuries first. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said, and a warm energy entered Lu Ming's body. Thanks to the flowing light, his injuries were rapidly recovering. Chapter 2143. Lu Ming continued to refine the energy, allowing it to circulate throughout his body and seep into his saint heart. The cracks on his saint heart were disappearing and finally, it was completely healed. His physical body had also completely recovered from his injuries. Lu Ming understood that this was all thanks to the Heavenly Emperor's help. That energy contained endless vitality, allowing him to recover so quickly. Otherwise, cracks would appear on his saint heart and his injuries would be extremely serious. It would take a long time for him to slowly recover. Thank you for your help, Heavenly Emperor. Lu Ming stood up and thanked Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin solemnly. Heavenly Emperor realm, what kind of person was he? Yet, he was able to help him break through. Whether or not he succeeded, Lu Ming was very grateful. Sigh, what a pity. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin sighed. It was a pity that a person like Lu Ming could not become an emperor. Lu Ming, don't force yourself to break through in the future. This time, I can save you. Next time, no one will be able to save you. Take care of yourself. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said, then turned around and returned to the war chariot. Master, Xiang believes that you will definitely break through in the future and create a miracle. Xiang walked over and looked at Lu Ming with tears in her eyes. I also believe in Master. Ouyang Moli also walked over. Young Master. Chiu Moon also walked over, but did not know what to say. Then, Huang Ling, Long Chen, Luo Tianyi, Luo Xiang and the rest also walked over. Looking at these disciples and friends, Lu Ming's heart warmed. He smiled and said, don't worry, I won't take risks easily. At this moment, the Hung family, He family and other forces that had a grudge against Lu Ming were ecstatic. They laughed in their hearts and let out a long breath. Mu Yang was actually killed by a cripple. Humph. My Mu family will definitely take revenge. The Mu family's experts sneered in their hearts, their eyes flashing with killing intent. Alright, it's getting late. The top 320 geniuses, follow me to the heavenly realm. At this moment, Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin's voice sounded. Swoosh! Swoosh! One by one, the young geniuses flew up to the front of the war chariot. No, Xiang doesn't want to go to the heaven realm. Xiang wants to stay and accompany Master. Lu Xiang shook her head. Young Master, I'm not going either. Autumn Moon also spoke. I'm not going either. I want to accompany Big Brother Lu Ming. Bubbles hung around Lu Ming's neck, swaying from side to side. Previously, Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin had said that if Lu Ming couldn't become an emperor, he wouldn't be able to head to the heavenly world. The heaven realm would not waste resources on a person who was destined not to become an emperor. What nonsense are you talking about? Let's all go to the heaven realm to cultivate. Only in the heaven realm can you improve faster. Lu Ming smiled and looked at Autumn Moon and the others. If the heaven realm wanted to nurture this batch of young geniuses, they would definitely take out a large amount of resources. Furthermore, with the guidance of the Celestial Emperor, their improvement speed would definitely be very fast. If they stayed in the primordial realm and relied on themselves to explore, their cultivation speed would be much slower. With the invasion of the foreign tribes, no one knew when the war would break out. Only by going to the heaven realm to cultivate was the right path. Lu Ming wouldn't let them stay. No. No. Autumn Moon, Bubbles, Lu Xiang, and the others shook their heads. At this moment, Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin looked at Bubbles and said, "Little guy, you're a spacetime spirit mouse. Staying in the primordial realm will only bury your talent. Follow me to the heaven realm. There will be a specialized Heavenly Emperor to guide you." Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin valued Bubbles a lot. The top 10 battle beasts were no small matter. Each of them had unparalleled talent. If they were to fully mature, they would be peak experts. The top 10 battle beasts of the ancient era were all terrifying existences with unparalleled combat power and unparalleled divine might. No! Bubbles shook his head like a rattledrum. Many people were so envious that their eyes turned red. With such good conditions, Bubbles still didn't want to go. It was simply infuriating. "All of you, go to the heaven realm to cultivate together." At this moment, Lu Ming's face sank. His sharp gaze swept across Bubbles, Lu Xiang, and the others. "I'm not crippled. There's no need for you to accompany me. Don't worry, I will definitely become an emperor in the future. When that time comes, I will go to the heaven realm to find you." "Master," Lu Xiang whispered. "Let's go." Lu Ming said sternly. "Yes." In the end, Lu Xiang, Ouyang Moli, and the others nodded. Bubbles pouted unwillingly, looking reluctant to part. Then, he lay weakly on Lu Xiang's shoulder and came to the front of the war chariot. "Lu Ming, take care." Huang Ling, Huang Li, and the others also came to the front of the war chariot. "Lu Ming, when you return to the divine wilderness and see Nianlin, help me pass a message. When my cultivation is successful, I will definitely look for her." Long Chen said to Lu Ming. He also wanted to stay and return to the divine wilderness to reunite with Xie Nianlin. But he knew that the war was not far away. Without cultivation, even if they reunited temporarily, they would not be able to protect anything in the future. He wanted to go to the heaven realm to cultivate. This opportunity could not be missed. "Don't worry, I will return to the divine wilderness soon. When the time comes, I will pass the message for you. Take care." Lu Ming patted Long Chen's shoulder and smiled. Everyone bid farewell to Lu Ming one by one. Only Autumn Moon did not move. "Autumn Moon, go." Lu Ming looked at Autumn Moon. "No, I won't go. I want to stay by young master's side." Autumn Moon shook her head. Before Lu Ming could speak, Autumn Moon said again, "Even if young master drives me away, I won't leave. I want to stay by young master's side. I want to return to the divine wilderness to see master and madam." Autumn Moon looked at Lu Ming with a determined face. "All right." In the end, Lu Ming sighed and let Autumn Moon stay. "Lu Ming, you have to take care. I'm going to the heaven realm too." At this moment, a figure came to Lu Ming's side. It was Emperor Wu Xiang. "Dean," Lu Ming was puzzled. Could it be that Emperor Wu Xiang was going to the heaven realm to participate in the war? Huntian and Heavenly Fire have entered the heaven realm. I don't know if they are dead or alive. I'm worried. Emperor Wu Xiang explained. Lu Ming understood that Emperor Wu Xiang was going to look for Huntian and Heavenly Fire Emperor. "Dean, take care." Lu Ming cupped his fists. "Haha, Lu Ming, I hope that the next time I see you, you will have become an emperor." Emperor Wu Xiang smiled and then left. "Lu Ming, I hope you can become an emperor. When the 20 years are up, I will challenge you. If you can't become an emperor, everything will be meaningless." In the end, Deathblade came to Lu Ming's side and left. "Let's go." Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said. 9 true dragons roared and shook the sky. Rumble. The 9 dragons pulled the chariot toward the depths of the sky. It rushed into the huge door and disappeared. The other sky prides of the Yuan realm also entered the door and disappeared. Before stepping into the door, Yuan Xian glanced at Lu Ming coldly and then turned to leave. In the crowd, Lu Ming saw Luo Tsungqiong's figure. He was also one of the 320 people. He also glanced at Lu Ming coldly. "Lu Ming, I hope you can survive. The next time I see you, I will kill you. Luo Zhangqiang sneered and stepped into the door. Master, take care, Lu Ming, take care. At the door, the voices of Xiang Xiang, Bubbles, Huang Ling, and the others could be heard. When the voices came, they were already gone. Chapter 2144. In the depths of the sky, the gate disappeared. The celestial world's emissaries and more than 300 geniuses all entered the celestial world. Many people looked back at Lu Ming. Many sighed, many sneered, and some even revealed killing intent. Lu Ming, you must pay with your life for killing Mu Yang of the Mu clan. An expert from the Mu clan was the first to attack. He stepped forward and charged at Lu Ming with killing intent. This was a great emperor with a goatee and a ferocious look in his eyes. Mu Yang was a peerless talent. He could have gone to the celestial world to obtain great opportunities and even become a celestial emperor in the future. If he became a celestial emperor, he would have been able to lead the Mu clan to glory. Everyone in the Mu clan had high hopes for him. But now, he was killed by Lu Ming. They wouldn't let Lu Ming go. What are you doing? Uncle Kong stepped forward and arrived in front of Lu Ming. His powerful aura erupted and blocked the great emperor from the Mu clan. You think you can stop the Mu clan by yourself? Another cold laughter rang out as a figure appeared beside Uncle Kong. His aura permeated the air, enveloping Uncle Kong. It was another great emperor. The Mu clan was a very powerful force in the divine fate land. They had more than one great emperor. On the other side, the great emperors wanted to help, but they were stopped by the great emperors of the Han clan, He clan, and Tian Luo clan. Lu Ming must die today. The great emperor from the Mu clan with a goatee said coldly and slowly approached Uncle Kong. Lu Ming's eyes flashed coldly. He had the celestial emperor's body. At most, he could control it and cause a ruckus to escape with Uncle Kong. Mu clan, you've gone too far. At this moment, a white-haired elder stepped forward and released a terrifying aura. The two great emperors from the Mu clan were shocked. This was an expert from one of the overlords of Destiny City. His cultivation was unfathomable. The Battle of the 10 Earths just ended, and you want to touch the champion of the Battle of the 10 Earths in Destiny City? Do you want to die? Said someone else, glaring at the two great emperors from the Mu clan. They were from another powerful group in Tianming City. Many powerful great emperors glared at the two great emperors from the Mu clan. Although Lu Ming couldn't become a monarch, he was still the champion of the 10 Lands battle. His tenacious character was admirable. At this moment, how could they let the Mu clan touch Lu Ming? The two Mu clan's great monarchs gritted their teeth and retreated helplessly. Take the two of them and leave Destiny City. The white-haired old man transmitted his voice to Uncle Kong. Uncle Kong nodded and said to Lu Ming, Hall Master, let's go. Following this, he waved his hand and a wave of energy brought Lu Ming and Autumn Moon away, disappearing without a trace. After some time, they appeared at the peak of a mountain. This place is already far away from the divine fate land. You all enter my small world first, I will bring you all back to Yuan Mountain. Kong Bo said. Uncle Kong, I don't want to go back for the time being. I want to look around. Lu Ming suddenly spoke. Look around. Uncle Kong was stunned at first, then a complicated look appeared in his eyes. He understood how Lu Ming felt. Not being able to become a monarch was a huge blow to anyone, not to mention a peerless genius like Lu Ming. Lu Ming needed time to calm down and adjust himself. Hall Master, this is the divine fate land. I'm afraid the Mu clan will do something to you. Uncle Kong was a little worried. Uncle Kong, don't worry. I won't use my real identity. I will use the divine aura technique to hide my identity. The divine fate land is so big, the Mu clan won't be able to find me. Lu Ming said. I want to follow you, young master. Autumn Moon said. She also cultivated the divine aura technique. In the end, Uncle Kong nodded and allowed Lu Ming to look around. "All right, I'll wait for you at the Great Pill Development Hall." Uncle Kong nodded and then tore through space and left. After Uncle Kong left, Lu Ming and Autumn Moon both used the divine aura technique to change their appearances. After changing their clothes, the two of them walked together between the mountains and the earth. Indeed, not being able to become a monarch was a huge blow to Lu Ming. He had to adjust himself. They walked and stopped, doing whatever they wanted. Sometimes, Lu Ming and Autumn Moon would discuss cultivation. Autumn Moon had already become a monarch and could comprehend many types of laws. Lu Ming had already comprehended 5 types of laws to the first level of perfection. In this aspect, he could be said to be very experienced. Autumn Moon also received a lot of inspiration. Lu Ming would sometimes meditate in one place for a few days. Autumn Moon would accompany Lu Ming to comprehend the laws. Time flew. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. On a mountain peak, Lu Ming had been meditating for half a month. What should I do in the future? Sitting on the mountain peak and watching the clouds, Lu Ming's mood had completely adjusted. Now, he was thinking about what to do in the future. Since I can't become a monarch, I'll continue to comprehend the laws. The more laws I comprehend, the stronger my combat strength will be. As long as my combat strength becomes stronger, so what if I can't become a monarch? Lu Ming's eyes gradually lit up. Since he couldn't become a monarch, he would continue to comprehend new laws. Every time he integrated a new type of law, his combat strength would skyrocket. Now, he only had 5 types of laws. What about 6, 7, 8, or even more? What level would his combat strength reach? Moreover, since he could comprehend 2 types of supreme laws, could he comprehend 3 or 4 types? If he could control all 10 types of supreme laws, what level could he reach? His path was not cut off. His strength could still continue to improve. Then I'll comprehend new laws. Lu Ming stood up, his face showing a confident expression again. Young master. Qiu Yu came to Lu Ming's side. Qiu Yu, let's go. Lu Ming held Qiu Yu's small hand and stepped into the air. Next, what law should I comprehend? Lu Ming pondered. A moment later, Lu Ming had already made a decision. Alchemy Dao Law. Next, Lu Ming planned to comprehend Alchemy Dao Law. Alchemy Dao Law, Array Dao Law, and Tools Dao Law were 3 types of King Dao Law evolved from the Dao of Inscription. Each had its own mysteries. Lu Ming had already mastered Array Dao Law. Lu Ming planned to master Alchemy Dao Law and Tools Dao Law in the future. In that way, the fusion of 3 types of laws would be even more mysterious. A few days later, they arrived at a large city. This large city was the holy land of alchemy in the divine fate land. Everywhere was filled with medicinal fragrance. The factions in this large city were practically all focused on alchemy. Lu Ming and Qiu Yu temporarily stayed in this large city. In this large city, it was helpful for Lu Ming to comprehend Alchemy Dao Law. In just a few days, Lu Ming already cultivated Alchemy Dao Law to the rudimentary level. This made Lu Ming secretly amazed. He comprehended various laws at an astonishing speed. During this period of time, Qiu Yu was also comprehending other laws. But she encountered tremendous resistance. Cultivating it was very difficult. Lu Ming guessed, could it be related to his somewhat mutated sacred heart? Chapter 2145. The two of them were not in a hurry to return to Yuan Mountain. They continued to wander around, relaxing and cultivating at the same time. Aeon City, Mu Clan. In a hall, a group of people were discussing something. According to reliable sources, Lu Ming did not return to Yuan Mountain. The only one who returned was Old Devil Dan Kong. A Mu Clan powerhouse said. But we sent people to look for Lu Ming everywhere, but they couldn't find him. That kid seemed to have evaporated into thin air. Another person said. It doesn't matter. We'll just wait for him. Lu Ming will return to Yuan Mountain sooner or later. We'll send people to Yuan Mountain and wait for him to return. That's right. Lu Ming must die. We must avenge Mu Yang. The Mu clan powerhouses spoke one after another. Let me make a trip there myself. Finally, a middle-aged man with a goatee walked out. This was a great emperor. Back then at Destiny Mountain, he was the first to make trouble and wanted to kill Lu Ming. We're relieved to have you make a trip there. The others nodded. Immediately, the great emperor with the goatee led two Mu clan powerhouses and left Aeon City, heading towards Yuan Mountain. Lu Ming didn't know all of this. They were still comprehending as they walked. In the north of Yuan continent, the land of divine beasts. It was an extremely barren and hidden place. Here, the space was extremely unstable and the origin chi was thin. It was a famous place of death in the land of divine beasts. There were thousands of divine beasts in the land of divine beasts, but no divine beast would come close to this place. On this day, a black-clothed woman with peerless beauty and peerless elegance was holding the hand of a 3- or 4-year-old boy. The little boy had bright eyes and white teeth. He was very good-looking. "Mother, where are we going?" the little boy asked. The beautiful woman looked at the little boy with a complicated look in her eyes. Finally, she said softly, "Mother will take you to a better place and teach you cultivation." He, little sister, I haven't seen you for many years. I didn't expect you to have a child." A delicate laugh sounded, and a figure stepped on the air and came over. It was also a woman with peerless beauty. Her appearance was exactly the same as the previous woman in black, but her temperament was slightly different. The woman behind him was dressed in a white dress. Her entire body was shrouded in holy light. She looked very holy. Xian Yinjuan. The black-clothed woman's eyes turned cold. That's right, the woman in black was Xian Yanqing, and the woman in white was Xian Yinjuan. Xian Yinjuan carefully looked at the little boy in Xian Yanqing's hand and revealed a look of surprise. He said, "This little baby looks 70 to 80% similar to Lu Ming. Could he be yours and Lu Ming's child? This is really beyond my expectations. From what I see, you've already awakened, yet you're still doing this kind of thing with Lu Ming. Moreover, you haven't killed Lu Ming yet. That's even stranger." Xian Yinjuan was extremely curious. "It's none of your business," Xian Yanqing said coldly. "No, I can see that the memories of your previous life and this life haven't merged. It should mean that the memories of this life don't want to merge with the memories of your previous life. No wonder, no wonder. However, if you continue like this, your cultivation will be completely surpassed by mine sooner or later." Xian Yinjuan seemed to have seen through something and laughed. Xian Yanqing's face revealed a complicated expression. Although she had awakened the memories of her previous life, the memories of this life were not willing to merge with the memories of her previous life. The two kinds of memories would appear alternately to control this body. Why do you have to do this? Only by merging the memories of our previous life and this life can we surpass our previous life and embark on the supreme path. If you continue like this, all of your efforts will eventually be in vain. In the end, Xian Yinjuan let out a long sigh. Her personality was indeed very different from before. In the past, when she saw Xian Yanqing, she would not speak to him with such an attitude. At this moment, Xian Yanqing's expression changed. Her eyes and expression also changed. Her eyes and expression were the same as Xian Yanqing's in the past. She touched the little boy's little head dotingly and said, "I won't merge. This life is this life, and the previous life is the previous life. Why should I awaken? Why should I merge? It seems that you can't let go of Lu Ming," Xian Yinjuan said. Xian Yanqing was silent and did not speak. "Mother, who is she? Why does she look like you?" the little boy asked and looked at Xian Yinjuan curiously. "I'm your aunt. Come to aunt. Aunt will take you to the heavenly realm and teach you the supreme cultivation method." Xian Yinjuan smiled. "I will take him there." You don't have to worry. With that, Xian Yanqing did not say anything else. She held the little boy's hand and walked toward the void turbulence. Xian Yanjuan smiled and also walked toward the void turbulence. In the end, their figures disappeared. If others knew, they would be very surprised. The void turbulence here could lead to the heavenly realm. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon walked and stopped. When they arrived at Huanhai, half a year had passed since the end of the Ten Lands battle. In this half a year, the news of the Ten Lands battle had spread throughout the world. Countless people were shocked. Countless people knew the name Lu Ming. Of course, there were also countless people who sighed. A peerless genius could not become an emperor. It made people sigh. After Lu Ming and Autumn Moon arrived at Huanhai, they took the Cross-Sea warship and returned to Yuan Mountain. After returning to Yuan Mountain, they did not disguise themselves and returned to their original appearance. Lu Ming did not go to Celestial City, nor did he return to Ancient Moon Holy Land. The first place he wanted to go was the Ancient Sacred Tribe. He wanted to go to the Ancient Sacred Tribe to find Xian Yanjuan and ask about Xian Yanqing's situation. He felt that Xian Yanjuan must know what happened to Xian Yanqing. Unfortunately, when he arrived at the Ancient Sacred Tribe, he was told that Xian Yanjuan had already left the Ancient Sacred Tribe a few months ago and his whereabouts were unknown. Lu Ming was helpless. He could only leave the Ancient Sacred Tribe and take the teleportation formation to return to Ancient Moon Holy Land. Emperor Wu Xiang had already left. Lu Ming no longer needed to go to Celestial City. Lu Ming planned to return to Ancient Moon Holy Land first before returning to Tsang State. It was time to settle the matters in Tsang State. With his current battle strength, he could kill an ordinary Void Emperor with a raise of his hand. After settling the matters in Tsang State, it was time for him to return to Divine Wilderness Continent. Counting it, he had left Divine Wilderness Continent for more than 10 years. It was time to go back and take a look. It's Lu Ming. Lu Ming is back. When Lu Ming walked out of the teleportation formation outside the Ancient Moon Holy Land, he was immediately recognized by others. The teleportation formation area was in an uproar. Lu Ming's name was famous all over the world. In the Battle of the Ten Lands, he trampled over the other geniuses and won the championship. His peerless talent made the people of Ancient Moon Holy Land feel very proud. Everyone, please make way. Lu Ming was speechless because the road was already blocked. A large number of people surrounded and watched. Lu Ming and Xiao Yu squeezed out of the crowd and flew towards Ancient Moon Holy Land. He's just a crippled body. If he can't become an emperor, what's the use of having strong battle strength at this stage? After Lu Ming left, someone sneered and mocked. Chapter 2146. That's right, he's just a boundary emperor. My Golden Crow clan can easily send out a high-level empty emperor to suppress him. A Golden Crow clan expert sneered. He must have done too many evil deeds and received his retribution. What a satisfying retribution. A giant wolf from Sky Wolf Pagoda said and even grinned. The others sighed. It was a pity that Lu Ming could not become an emperor. Soon, the news of Lu Ming's return to the Ancient Moon's sacred ground spread throughout the Ancient Moon's sacred ground. Lu Ming did not stop. Soon, he and Autumn Moon returned to the Great Pill Development Hall. Junior brother. Junior brother. Tian Shui and Xuaningxin had been cultivating in the Great Pill Development Hall. Their cultivation levels were not high and they did not go to the Divine Fate Land. When they saw Lu Ming return, they smiled. Junior brother, I believe that you will become an emperor in the future. Xuaningxin came over to comfort him. That's right. You will blind everyone. Tian Shui also came over and comforted him. Of course, I will definitely create a miracle. Lu Ming smiled. After this period of time, he had already adjusted his mood and said half-jokingly. He had not given up on the path to becoming an emperor. He would slowly search for it in the future. However, at this stage, he could continue to comprehend new laws and his strength could continue to increase. He was not in a hurry. Moreover, he had heard that there was a prerequisite to becoming an emperor. That was to cultivate all 9 laws to the complete third realm. Then, the 9 types of laws would be integrated, and the quantity would change into the quality of the great Tao. Only then would one be a great emperor. Therefore, he would not waste his time by comprehending more laws. In the future, if he really broke through to the martial emperor realm, his cultivation would increase by leaps and bounds. Come, let's drink. Tian Shui laughed and took out jars of wine. Everyone began to drink. Autumn Moon also accompanied Lu Ming and drank a jar. Her face flushed red as if she was a fairy who had descended to the mortal world. The few of them drank and chatted until the next day. Lu Ming wanted to rest for a while. However, at this time, Lu Ming received a message that someone had come to the Great Pill Development Furnace. Miss Mu, Brother Yi. When Lu Ming arrived outside the Great Derivation Pill Furnace, he saw a few youths. Mu Qingxue and Yi Dongfang were among them. In the ancient Moon Holy Land, other than Huang Ling and Long Chen, Lu Ming was the closest to Mu Qingxue and Yi Dongfang. Obviously, they had also heard the news of Lu Ming's return. Lu Ming, we just heard that you're back. Lu Ming, we all believe in you. One day, you'll definitely become a martial emperor. Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the others also comforted him. Thank you. Lu Ming smiled and invited them in to take a seat. Lu Ming, the younger generation of the ancient Moon's sacred ground has decided to invite you to a banquet in 3 days to congratulate you on becoming the champion of the 10 Lands tournament. In the end, Yi Dongfang spoke. Alright, I'll definitely go. Lu Ming nodded. After chatting for a while, Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the others took their leave. Lu Ming rested for a while and then continued to comprehend the law of alchemy. During this time, he had already cultivated the law of alchemy to 60%, which was extremely fast. On this day, the Golden Crow clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, Wan clan, and Ziji sect all received invitations to the Feng clan for a meeting. When they arrived at the meeting hall of the Feng clan, they found that the people sitting at the top were not the Feng clan leader, but 2 strangers. The Wind clan's clan leader and the Wind clan's elders sat below and carefully accompanied him. Feng clan leader, why have you called us here? The Wan clan leader asked first. No hurry, let me introduce you. These 2 are from the ancient Sun Holy Land and the Daluo Heaven sect. The Feng clan leader pointed at the 2 and said. The Wan clan leader and the Golden Crow clan leader's faces changed slightly. The Daluo Heaven sect had a martial emperor in charge and was an emperor-level force. Their strength was far beyond theirs. They hurriedly saluted the 2 people from the Daluo Heaven sect. The 2 people from the Daluo Heaven sect nodded slightly. Everyone, I'll come straight to the point. This time, I've asked you to come together for only one purpose, that is, to kill Lu Ming. A middle-aged man from the Daluo Heaven sect said coldly. The hall suddenly became quiet. After a while, the Wan clan leader said, Brother Luo, to be honest, we also want to kill Lu Ming, but Lu Ming is protected by the old guy from the Great Development Elixir Palace. That old guy is a martial emperor. If we kill Lu Ming, I'm afraid that old guy will kill us directly. Yes, without the old guy from the Great Development Elixir Palace, we would have killed Lu Ming long ago. The Golden Crow clan leader followed. It doesn't matter. This time, Martial Emperor Tian Luo of the Daluo Heaven sect will take action. The old guy from the Great Development Elixir Palace will be dealt with by Martial Emperor Tian Luo. The middle-aged man from the Daluo Heaven sect said. Martial Emperor Tian Luo will take action. The leaders of the Wan clan, the Golden Crow clan, and the Sky Wolf Tower were all overjoyed. But then, they became worried because they thought that Lu Ming still had the body of the Celestial Emperor. Lu Ming still has the body of the Celestial Emperor. Although he was assassinated by the Death Kingdom in the Divine Fate Land, he didn't use the body of the Celestial Emperor. Some people speculate that there are many restrictions on him using the body of the Celestial Emperor. But we have to be careful. The Wan clan leader said. The others nodded. They had to be cautious because it was related to the survival of their forces. We have already considered this point. So, you need to send someone to assassinate Lu Ming and test whether he can control the body of the Celestial Emperor. Someone from the Daluo Heaven sect said. We'll test him. The Wan clan leader and the others changed their expressions. They had sent someone to test him. If Lu Ming could control the body of the Celestial Emperor, the person they sent would be dead. If Lu Ming was angry, all the forces would be in danger. Don't worry. We'll test him just in case. If Lu Ming can't control the body of the Celestial Emperor, we can kill him directly. If he can control the body of the Celestial Emperor, you'll lose a few experts at most. When it comes to doing big things, a little loss is necessary. And let me tell you, this time we're not the only ones who want to deal with Lu Ming. The Mu clan in the Divine Fate Land has also sent a great emperor to deal with him. So, even if Lu Ming can control the body of the Celestial Emperor, he will still die. But, if this matter is spread out, the Mu clan and the Daluo Heaven sect will lose face. So, we need you to send someone to assassinate him. Another person from the Daluo Heaven sect said with great confidence. The Mu clan in the Divine Fate Land has also sent an expert. The eyes of the Wan clan leader and the others flickered, and they finally made a decision. Well, we'll send someone to ambush Lu Ming. If we can kill him directly, it'll be the best. The leaders of the forces made a decision. Lu Ming was too big a threat to them. He must be eliminated. Even if Lu Ming could not become an emperor, they had to eliminate him as soon as possible. Only then could they feel at ease. Chapter 2147. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Lu Ming headed in the direction of the Thunder God sect alone. This time, Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the other young geniuses of the ancient Moon Holy Land had invited Lu Ming to a gathering place near the Thunder God sect. It was very luxurious and there was an elegant restaurant. When Lu Ming arrived, there were at least dozens of young geniuses of the ancient Moon Holy Land who came to welcome Lu Ming and congratulate Lu Ming. These young geniuses might not be much on the stage of the Battle of the Ten Lands, but in the ancient Moon Holy Land, they were all top geniuses and would be the pillars of the ancient Moon Holy Land in the future. Everyone toasted each other and it was very lively. After half a day, the banquet finally ended and Lu Ming took his leave. He planned to bring Qiu Yu, Xuaningxin, and Tian Chui back to the Tsang continent in a few days. Lu Ming thought about his next plan as he flew. Suddenly, Lu Ming's hair stood on end as he felt a sense of danger. Without hesitation, Lu Ming quickly retreated. Whoosh! Whoosh! In front of Lu Ming, several terrifying wind blades cut through the space and slashed through. Then, behind Lu Ming, the space shook and several rays of light shot towards Lu Ming. Those were a few Emperor weapons that directly pierced through space with terrifying power. Boom! Lu Ming unleashed his power. He activated all 5 types of laws and cast the Chaos Divine Palm, striking a few times consecutively. Dong! Dong! Several Imperial armaments were knocked flying by the collision. 3-star Illusionary Emperor. As soon as they exchanged blows, Lu Ming felt that the person controlling the Emperor weapons was a 3-star Illusionary Emperor. Rip! Above Lu Ming's head, the wind whistled and heat waves surged. A huge claw grabbed towards Lu Ming. It was extremely terrifying. If Lu Ming was scratched by this claw, he would definitely die. Boom! Lu Ming erupted with power and executed the Sword of Death. A battle sword formed and slashed upwards. Puchi! A huge claw was chopped off by Lu Ming. 4-star Void Emperor. Lu Ming's gaze turned even colder. Golden Crow Clan, Wan Clan, Feng Clan, you're all courting death. Lu Ming shouted angrily. The experts from the Wind Clan, the Wan Clan, and the Golden Crow Clan had made their move. They were all 3-star Void Emperors and above. Kill! A loud roar reverberated in the air. Then, one figure after another appeared, charging towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming discovered that not only were there people from the Wind Clan, the Wan Clan, and the Golden Crow Clan, but there were also people from the Heavenly Wolf Pagoda and the Purple Extreme Sect. Terrifying auras engulfed Lu Ming. Some people's cultivation bases were extremely terrifying. High-level Void Emperor. Lu Ming's expression turned serious. Among them, there were 5-star Empty Emperors, 6-star Empty Emperors, and even 7-star Empty Emperors. Lu Ming, you will die today. Someone said coldly. Kill. A giant wolf pounced towards Lu Ming. Its aura was violent and cold. It was a 4-star Void Emperor. You're the one who's going to die. Lu Ming held the Sword of Death in his hand and slashed out. During this period of time, as Lu Ming comprehended, the Sword of Death and the Hammer of Chaos, these two self-created super skills, became more and more powerful. Poof! Blood spurted out, and a giant wolf head was directly chopped off. A 4-star Void Emperor was directly killed by Lu Ming. This made the others feel a chill in their hearts, and they broke out in cold sweat. This was too terrifying. He was only a boundary emperor, but he could actually kill a 4-star Void Emperor. This was simply unbelievable. Such a thing had never happened before. This kid is even more terrifying than during the 10 Lands battle. We can't let him live. Let's attack together. Loud roars sounded one after another. Indeed, Lu Ming had now cultivated the law of alchemy and had already mastered 6 types of law. His combat strength had increased by another level. Boom! Boom! This time, those high-level Void Emperors also moved. 5-star, 6-star, and even 7-star Void Emperors moved. Streams of terrifying divine powers were about to engulf Lu Ming. Feng Clan, Golden Crow Clan, Wan Clan, ZG Sect, Sky Wolf Pagoda, you're all courting death. Lu Ming's gaze was extremely cold. Back then, he had sworn that he would destroy the Golden Crow Clan, Wan Clan, and other forces. However, he did not intend to do it now. He planned to wait until he returned to the Divine Wilderness continent and then do it. But now, these forces had taken the initiative to ambush him. Then, he would get rid of these forces. Clang! The sword's roar shook the sky. A stone sword appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It was the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. Poof! 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 Lu Ming swung the sword and slashed out a terrifying sword light. Suddenly, a series of screams sounded. In an instant, a 6-star Void Emperor, 2 4-star Void Emperors, and 3 3-star Void Emperors were slashed into 2 by the sword. The terrifying sword chi in the sword destroyed their souls. Oh no, it's the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. He can control the Heavenly Emperor's physical body. Run, run. The remaining Void Emperors were almost scared to death. They screamed crazily and fled frantically. Since you're here, you must die. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with indifference. The sword of the Heavenly Emperor slashed out continuously. Swoosh! 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 Tiny sword chi entered the air and slashed towards those people. In the next moment, there were endless screams. Those who came to ambush Lu Ming were killed one after another. Void Emperors were too weak in the face of the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. They were like ants. Whether it was a 7-star Void Emperor or a 3-star Void Emperor, there was no difference under the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. They were all killed with one slash. In a few breaths, more than a dozen experts were killed by Lu Ming. The Heavenly Emperor's physical body has stored 36% of the energy. The power of the sword of the Heavenly Emperor has also increased sharply. Moreover, 36% of the energy is enough to destroy a few forces. Lu Ming's eyes flickered with a cold light. He then put away the sword of the Heavenly Emperor and began to collect the spoils of war. These people were all martial emperors and had abundant resources. Lu Ming would not miss out on them. Lu Ming kept the storage rings one by one. In addition, Lu Ming also kept the corpses of the Golden Crow clan experts in the Sky Wolf Pagoda. These were martial emperors, divine wolves and golden crows. The value of their physical bodies was also very high. After collecting, he looked in a direction and said coldly, "Then let's start with the Golden Crow clan." After saying that, Lu Ming turned into a ray of light and flickered away. The Golden Crow clan lived in a group of volcanoes. There was abundant flame energy here and it could continuously absorb the sun's fire essence. It was a rare treasure land. From time to time, one could see three-legged golden crows flying back and forth between the volcanoes. "What is that?" Suddenly, a golden crow cried out. All the golden crows looked in the same direction. Rumble. The sky shook and an incomparably huge battle sword appeared in the sky. It was a stone sword, but it was too big. It was hundreds of miles long. It fell from the sky and slashed toward the volcanoes where the Golden Crow clan lived. It was like a divine punishment from the gods. The vast and terrifying aura scared many golden crows out of their wits. Someone is attacking. Run, run. Countless golden crows fled in all directions. Boom! Boom! Chapter 2148. The stone sword spanned 100 miles and covered the volcanoes as it slashed down from the sky. The earth split open as the stone sword slashed down. The volcanoes exploded and lava raged everywhere. Ah! Miserable screams resounded as the golden crows were swept by the sword energy and exploded. Their golden feathers fluttered in the air. Who is it? Who wants to kill my tribe? Run first. The golden crows were in complete chaos. The three-legged golden crows soared into the sky in an attempt to escape. However, in the sky, a figure with a stone sword in hand walked over. Sword light burst forth, killing the golden crows one after another and causing them to fall downwards. Lu Ming, it's you. A loud roar echoed in all directions. It's Lu Ming, it's him. Lu Ming, why do you want to kill our tribe? Many golden crows panicked after hearing that it was Lu Ming. The golden crow tribe shall be exterminated. Lu Ming said coldly. The stone sword didn't stop. Each slash killed a golden crow. Moreover, Lu Ming specifically targeted the powerful golden crows. True emperors were powerless before Lu Ming and were killed with a single slash. Whoosh! The next moment, Lu Ming fixed his eyes on a golden crow. This golden crow had an extremely powerful aura. It was a high-level true emperor and most likely a high-ranking member of the Golden Crow tribe. Run, run, run. The Golden Crow tribe leader was panicking. He didn't expect Lu Ming to be able to control the body of a heavenly emperor and wield the heavenly emperor's sword. Even someone as powerful as him felt powerless. He could only run and wait for Tian Luo and the experts from the Mu clan to kill Lu Ming. But in the next moment, he despaired. A sword ray tore through the void and approached him in an instant. No! The chief of the Golden Crow tribe cried out in fear. His entire body was covered with golden flames, as if he had turned into a large sun. He wanted to block Lu Ming's sword light. However, when the sword light slashed past, the flames were extinguished. A sword mark appeared on the forehead of the Golden Crow clan's chief. His soul had already been destroyed. The patriarch of the Golden Crow clan had fallen. This time, the energy stored in the Sky Emperor's body reached 36%. Even if Lu Ming only controlled the sword of the Sky Emperor alone, no one below the Great Emperor level could stop him. The patriarch is dead. Run! The Golden Crows roared one after another. Chaos, complete chaos. Lu Ming went on a killing spree, slashing out sword gleams continuously. He specifically targeted those true emperors and void thearchs. The sword light was too fast. It pierced through the void. Even though the Golden Crow had extreme speed, it was difficult for it to escape. One after another, the Golden Crows fell to the ground and perished. After a long while, Lu Ming finally stopped. Almost all the martial emperors of the Golden Crow clan were slaughtered. Only a few below the Martial Emperor realm managed to escape. After this battle, the Golden Crow clan could be considered to have declined. Lu Ming's figure flashed as he began to collect the spoils of war. He kept all the corpses of the Golden Crows into a storage ring. After that, Lu Ming turned around and left. As soon as Lu Ming left, many figures flashed over. They were people from the other forces of the ancient Moon Holy Ground. The battle with the Golden Crow clan had caused too much of a commotion. Sword chi filled the sky and the cries of the Golden Crows spread in all directions. When these people arrived, they were deeply shocked. The volcano exploded and lava flowed on the ground, covering the ground with golden feathers of the Golden Crows. From time to time, a few weaker corpses of the Golden Crows could be seen. Lu Ming did not want those corpses and did not take them away. God, the Golden Crow clan has been destroyed. Someone's voice trembled. It's Lu Ming. Someone just shouted for Lu Ming. Lu Ming killed the Golden Crow clan and destroyed them. Many people were dumbfounded. Very quickly, the news spread like wildfire across the entire ancient Moon Holy Land. This was explosive news. Everyone, including all the major powers, was shaken. Many people were dumbfounded when they heard the news. They could not believe it and felt that it was unreal. The Golden Crow clan that had been passed down for countless years in the ancient Moon Holy Ground was destroyed. The person who destroyed it was a young man, Lu Ming. Many people recalled that when the Great Pill Development Palace appeared, the Golden Crow clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and other forces sent out martial emperors to suppress Lu Ming. At that time, Lu Ming had said that one day, he would destroy the Golden Crow clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and other forces. Today, it had come true. On this day, two terrifying experts arrived at the Feng clan. The Great Emperor of Tian Luo and the Great Emperor of the Mu clan with a goatee. At this moment, they received the news that the Golden Crow clan had been destroyed. Good, Lu Ming. You're very decisive. I'll take action directly. The Great Emperor of the Mu clan said coldly. Brother Mu, Lu Ming has a heavenly emperor's body in his hands. He can suppress a great emperor. We must be careful. The Great Emperor of Tian Luo warned and briefly explained the matter between Lu Ming and the Great Emperor of the He clan. Old man, he is only a 1-star Great Emperor. I am a 2-star Great Emperor. I can suppress Lu Ming and kill him. The Great Emperor of the goatee sneered and was full of confidence. In the Great Emperor realm, the difference between each star was huge. Lu Ming could barely suppress the Great Emperor of the He clan, but he could kill the Great Emperor of the He clan. At the same time, his eyes shone with greed. The Heavenly Emperor's body. Lu Ming actually had the Heavenly Emperor's body. If Lu Ming could suppress a 1-star Great Emperor by controlling the Heavenly Emperor's body, wouldn't he be able to dominate the Great Emperor realm if it fell into his hands? The Great Emperor of the goatee's heart was burning. Wait for me here. If there's any situation, immediately send me a message. The Great Emperor of the goatee said and took a step forward, heading towards the Golden Crow clan. When he arrived at the Golden Crow clan, Lu Ming was long gone. Where will this brat go next? The Great Emperor of the goatee pondered. Not long after, another explosive piece of news spread throughout the ancient Moon sacred ground. Sky Wolf Pagoda was destroyed. The terrifying Sky Wolves in Sky Wolf Pagoda were killed by Lu Ming. Blood flowed like a river. The ancient Moon's sacred ground was shaken once again. In a short period of time, Lu Ming had destroyed 2 powerful forces. This was a magnitude 12 earthquake. The ancient Moon's sacred ground was in an uproar. Everyone was discussing this matter. At the same time, they sent people to observe the developments. The Great Emperor of the goatee also received the news at the same time. He tore through the void and quickly rushed to Sky Wolf Pagoda. However, Lu Ming had already left. This brat left rather quickly. He's going to take revenge. Very well, I'll wait for him at the Wind Clan. The Great Emperor of the goatee sneered. As for the Golden Crow clan, he didn't care about Sky Wolf Pagoda being destroyed. His goal was to kill Lu Ming. What did the destruction of these forces have to do with him? After he rushed back to the Wind clan, he immediately discussed with the great emperor of the Tian Luo clan and the clan leader of the Feng clan. Not long after, the clan leader of the Feng clan sent out a message for the Wan clan and the Purple Extreme sect to retreat to the Wind clan. They would wait for Lu Ming there. Chapter 2149. After Lu Ming flattened Sky Wolf Pagoda, he immediately left. His next stop was Lu Ming's trip to the Wan clan. This time, he would not let go of the Feng clan, Wan clan, and Ziji sect. Before returning to the Divine Wilderness continent, he would flatten all of these forces and eliminate them forever. Next was the Wan clan. The Wan clan was the first to have a feud with Lu Ming. It could be said that they would not rest until one of them was dead. It was a pity that when Lu Ming arrived at the Wan family's residence, it was already empty. All the figures above the Sage Realm had left. Those who were left behind were those below the Sage Realm. Lu Ming could not be bothered to kill those below the Saint Realm. He was not a bloodthirsty person. However, he still captured a few people and asked about the Wan clan's whereabouts. Family Head and the others should have gone to the Feng clan. An elder from the Wan clan said in horror, afraid that Lu Ming would kill them in a rage. The Feng clan. It seems that they are waiting for me in the Feng clan. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. This matter is not that simple. Since they know that I control the Heavenly Emperor's body and still dare to wait for me in the Feng clan, they must have something to rely on. Could there be a great emperor behind this? Lu Ming's mind was constantly thinking. He felt that it was very likely because the whole thing was very strange. As soon as he returned, he was ambushed by the Feng clan, Wan clan, Golden Crow clan, and other forces. Logically speaking, these people would not be so bold because Uncle Kong was there. Uncle Kong had said that before Lu Ming became an emperor, they were not allowed to send people above the martial emperor level to deal with Lu Ming. However, this time, the other party had directly sent experts to ambush him. Even if they wanted to ambush him, they should not have done it in the Ancient Moon's sacred ground. Or rather, they would not have sent people personally but hired assassins. That was the safest way because if Lu Ming was not dead and the news was leaked, Uncle Kong would not let them off. However, if the other party dared to do so, they most likely had something to rely on. Lu Ming did not immediately kill his way to the Feng clan. No matter who is behind this time, I'll get rid of them once and for all. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with killing intent. Currently, the Celestial Thearcha's body had 36% of the energy stored in it. Previously, when he killed the Golden Crow clan and the Sky Wolf Pagoda, the strongest of these two forces were merely high-level true emperors. Therefore, Lu Ming did not expend much energy. This was the source of his confidence. He wanted to completely destroy the Wind clan, Wan clan, and Ziji sect. However, if the other party had a great monarch behind him, he wouldn't be able to do it alone. Lu Ming immediately sent a message to Uncle Kong before heading towards Phoenix Palace. Lu Ming's arrival at Phoenix Palace shook the place. Lu Ming's current reputation was too resounding. Soon, Lu Ming met the Palace Lord of Phoenix Palace in the main hall of Phoenix Palace. Lu Ming, why have you come to Phoenix Palace to look for me? Phoenix Palace's Palace Master asked directly. I would like to request Phoenix Palace's assistance in annihilating the Feng clan, Wan clan, and Ziji sect. Lu Ming went straight to the point and stated his intentions. Phoenix Palace's Palace Master frowned, seemingly deep in thought. Lu Ming, are you confident? Phoenix Palace's Palace Master asked. This concerned the future of Phoenix Palace, so he had to be cautious. Yes. Even if they have a great monarch behind them, they will still die. It's hard to change anything. Lu Ming was extremely confident. Alright, I agree. I will invite the leaders of other factions to join me in annihilating the Feng clan, Wan clan, and Ziji sect. Phoenix Palace's Palace Master made her decision. The Feng clan was one of the ancient clans with deep roots and great strength. Ever since they came into being, they had been suppressing the other factions of the ancient moon's sacred ground. Especially after Lu Ming's conflict with the Feng clan and his killing of Feng Wuchen, the factions that were on good terms with Lu Ming were even more oppressed by the Feng clan. They had long wanted to rebel. "Thank you, Palace Master. I will make another trip to the Divine Elephant sect." Lu Ming expressed his gratitude and left Phoenix Palace, heading toward the Divine Elephant sect. The Divine Elephant sect, like the Phoenix Palace, quickly agreed. They also invited other factions to join the battle. Half a day later, Phoenix Palace's Palace Master and the Divine Elephant sect Master sent Lu Ming a voice transmission. The matter had been decided and a total of 10 factions would join the battle. All the factions agreed to meet at Phoenix Palace. Lu Ming also headed toward Phoenix Palace. When he arrived at Phoenix Palace, the 10 major forces had all arrived. Moreover, the leaders of the 10 factions had all come together. This time, all the factions were going all out to annihilate the Feng clan. "Seniors, please wait a moment. I will start the battle first. If the situation doesn't seem right, you can retreat first," Lu Ming said. If the other side had an expert that even he couldn't defeat, then Phoenix Palace and the other factions would only be sending themselves to their deaths. He had to be on guard against that. Everyone nodded. Naturally, they wouldn't joke about the fate of the entire faction. "I'll go first." With that, Lu Ming stepped into the air and headed in the direction of the Feng clan. Not long after Lu Ming left, the people of the 10 factions also set off toward the Feng clan. Lu Ming was extremely fast. Soon, several majestic mountains appeared in front of him. The Feng clan's original headquarters was in a small world. However, ever since they were born, they had built many majestic palaces in the ancient moon's sacred ground. From afar, one could see that the majestic mountains were filled with magnificent palaces. Lu Ming stepped into the air and headed toward the mountains where the Feng clan was located. "Who's there?" Someone noticed Lu Ming and shouted. "The person who will kill you," Lu Ming said coldly. With a punch, the person in front of him was torn apart. He was only a quasi-emperor. Naturally, Lu Ming killed him in an instant. "You're Lu Ming." Someone recognized Lu Ming and immediately shouted. "Lu Ming is attacking! Lu Ming is attacking!" Loud roars reverberated throughout the Feng clan. In a large hall, the Tianluo Great Emperor, the Goatee Great Emperor, the Feng clan leader, the Wan clan leader, the Purple Extreme sect leader, and other higher-ups were discussing matters when they heard a loud roar from outside. "He's finally here." The goateed Great Emperor sneered coldly. He got up and strode outside. The others all followed. Outside the Feng clan, Lu Ming stood in the void with a cold look in his eyes. "The Feng clan sent people to secretly ambush me. Do they really think that I have a good temper and can be bullied at will? Today, I'll flatten the Feng clan," Lu Ming shouted. His voice was like heavenly thunder, exploding in the sky. The sword of the Heavenly Emperor appeared. Lu Ming slashed out. An incomparably huge sword slashed toward the mountains of the Feng clan. Its power was earth-shattering and extremely terrifying. Many disciples of the Feng clan trembled in fear and shouted frantically. "Lu Ming, you're the one who will die today." A cold shout came from the mountains of the Feng clan. A figure rushed into the sky. Then, a giant palm appeared out of thin air. It was bigger than the mountains and covered the sky as it grabbed at the giant sword. Boom! The mountains shook and the world roared. Lu Ming's sword was blocked. The sword light dissipated and a figure appeared in the sky. Chapter 2150. It's you. Lu Ming squinted his eyes and a cold glint flashed across his eyes. He recognized the Great Emperor with the goatee at a glance. Back at Destiny Mountain, the Great Emperor with the goatee was the first to attack and kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming was a little surprised. He did not expect the Great Emperor of the Mu clan to be the mastermind. The Mu clan had actually sent people to Yuan Mountain. Then, Lu Ming looked behind and saw the great emperor of Tianluo and the rest. And the Daluo Heaven sect. The cold glint in Lu Ming's eyes intensified. The Daluo Heaven sect was within Lu Ming's expectations. He had previously guessed that the Daluo Heaven sect, the Han clan, or the He clan were supporting them. Lu Ming, how dare you kill the genius of the Mu clan, Mu Yang? Today, I'll bury you with him. The great emperor with the goatee said coldly. Then, he exploded with a terrifying aura. The aura was appalling and unimaginably powerful. He's even stronger than the great emperor of the He clan. Lu Ming was surprised. No wonder the great emperor was so confident when he knew that he could control the heaven and earth body. It turned out that his cultivation had surpassed the great emperor of the He clan. Lu Ming did not hesitate and took out the heavenly emperor's body. Lu Ming turned into a rainbow light and entered the heavenly emperor's body. The Sky Emperor's body grew rapidly, like a giant standing between the heavens and the earth. It's a waste for the heavenly emperor's body to fall into your hands. Give it to me. The great emperor with the goatee's eyes were burning with passion. He took a step forward and stretched out a large hand to grab Lu Ming. Kill! Lu Ming roared and controlled the heavenly emperor's body. He held the stone sword and slashed out. Puff! The great emperor with the goatee's hand was cut in half by Lu Ming's sword. The great emperor with the goatee was shocked because the combat power that Lu Ming displayed when controlling the heavenly emperor's body was stronger than what the great emperor of Tianluo had said. So strong! Lu Ming was amazed. The stored energy had reached 36%. Although it had consumed some before, it was not much. With so much energy stored in it, the power it could unleash was simply too shocking. Kill! Lu Ming let out a battle cry and charged toward the goatee great emperor. With a slash of the sword, the stone sword became 100 miles long and 10 miles wide, suppressing the heavens. The stone sword slashed through space and shattered it. The stone sword slashed towards the goateed great emperor with boundless spatial turbulence. Boom! The goatee martial monarch unleashed his power too. His body emitted a brilliant glow. The entire place was filled with an indescribable pressure. The world was filled with the aura of the great path. The goateed great emperor was controlling the great Tao. At the same time, 2 golden sabers appeared in his hands. He slashed out with the sabers and sliced through the void. Clang! Clang! The saber and the stone sword collided violently. Whang! The saber in the goatee great emperor's hand buzzed as if it was under great pressure. Lu Ming was valiant and invincible. Once again, he charged towards his opponent. Kill! The goateed great emperor controlled the great Tao and charged at Lu Ming with 2 golden sabers. The 2 of them fought in the sky. However, the goateed great emperor was at a disadvantage. He was completely suppressed by Lu Ming. After every move, the goateed great emperor's body trembled and he was forced to retreat. How is this possible? The Tianluo great emperor, the Feng clan leader, and the others were in disbelief. The goateed great emperor was a 2-star great emperor. He was much stronger than the He clan great emperor and could even kill him. But now, he was suppressed by Lu Ming and was at a disadvantage. Back in the Celestial City, Lu Ming could barely suppress the He clan great emperor when he controlled the heavenly emperor's body. Why was he even more terrifying now? Not good. At this moment, the Feng clan leader, Wan clan leader, and the others turned pale. They were relying on the goateed great emperor and the Tianluo great emperor. But now, the goateed great emperor was at a disadvantage. If the goateed great emperor was defeated, Lu Ming wouldn't let them off. Their faces were filled with fear. Some of them were already considering if they should escape first. Boom! In the sky, there was another explosion. The goateed great emperor was forced to retreat as blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Damn it! The goateed great emperor roared. He felt that he had been cheated. The information he received didn't match the reality. I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming roared. The more he fought, the braver he became. He didn't care about his own defense and attacked the goateed Great Emperor. He had to end the battle quickly because the energy in the Heavenly Emperor's body was depleted too quickly when fighting against a Great Emperor. If the battle dragged on for too long and the energy was depleted, he would be finished. Lu Ming gave up on defense and attacked crazily. Clang! The stone sword deflected the goateed Great Emperor's battle blade. Lu Ming kicked the goateed Great Emperor's body, almost causing the goateed Great Emperor's body to explode. The goateed Great Emperor spat out a mouthful of blood and retreated. Lu Ming chased after him relentlessly. Tianluo, come and help me. The goateed Great Emperor shouted for Tianluo to help him. Tianluo Great Emperor's expression changed. In the end, he gritted his teeth and rushed to the sky. He took out a Great Emperor weapon and attacked Lu Ming. Today, he had to get rid of Lu Ming. Otherwise, if the goateed Great Emperor died, he would be finished too. But at this moment, a bright sword light lit up the sky and slashed at Tianluo Great Emperor. Old Devil Dan Kong. Tianluo Great Emperor was shocked and tried his best to defend. Boom! The sky exploded. Uncle Kong's figure appeared. His sword light was shocking as it slashed at Tianluo Great Emperor. Uncle Kong's cultivation was already at the limit of a 1-star Great Emperor. He wasn't far from becoming a 2-star Great Emperor. Moreover, Uncle Kong had cultivated for countless years. His battle strength was obviously stronger than Tianluo Great Emperor. The battle strength of a Great Emperor wasn't just a battle of cultivation. Uncle Kong was obviously stronger in other aspects. Back in Celestial City, Uncle Kong was heavily injured from the battle with the evil god tribe. That was why he was able to fight Tianluo Great Emperor to a draw. Tianluo Great Emperor was also suppressed and could only defend himself. Not good. The Feng clan leader, Wan clan leader, and the others turned pale. The two great emperors that they relied on were at a disadvantage. Once the two great emperors were defeated, they were finished. Retreat, retreat from here. The Feng clan leader roared. They had no choice but to retreat in order to protect the Feng clan. You want to leave? It's too late. A cold voice came from afar. Then, a large number of figures appeared. They were the experts from the Phoenix Palace, Divine Elephant Sect, and the other top 10 forces. It's you. How dare you attack my Feng clan? You're courting death. The Feng clan leader roared. You're the ones who will die. Today, you will die. Attack. Kill. The top 10 forces attacked the Feng clan from all directions. This time, the 10 great forces virtually turned out in full force, sending out all of their powerhouses. Chapter 2151. The 10 great powers moved out in full force with too many experts. All sorts of attacks rained down on the Wind Clan's entrance. Many people from the Wind Clan, Wan Clan, and Violet Extreme Sect were killed. I'll destroy you all. The Wind Clan leader's eyes turned red as he glared at the Phoenix Palace Lord. His body soared into the sky, bringing with it endless gales as he attacked. The Wind Clan leader was a peak 7-star true emperor. He was practically invincible in the ancient moon sacred ground. The other lords didn't have such a cultivation. Attack together. The Phoenix Palace Lord shouted. The cry of a phoenix resounded from her body, resounding across the firmament. A gigantic phoenix lunged at the Wind Clan leader. Roar! Then, an elephant's cry sounded. Long Chen's master had made his move. Long Chen's master was a supreme elder of the Divine Elephant Sect. He was a 6-star true emperor, an existence on the same level as the Phoenix Palace Lord. He also joined the fray with a punch. A gigantic elephant stomped on the sky and charged at the Wind Clan leader. At the same time, lightning filled the air as if a heavenly tribulation was descending. A figure shrouded in lightning appeared and used a grand technique to attack the Wind Clan leader. This was the sect master of the Thunder God sect, a 6-star true emperor. On top of that, the leader of another faction made his move too. The four great experts fought the Wind Clan leader together. The two sides engaged in a fierce battle. It was difficult to determine the victor. The other places were embroiled in bitter battles. The patriarchs of the Wan clan and the Ziji sect both sent out their own experts to fight against them. The Wind Clan was caught in the flames of war. Moreover, the Wind Clan, the Wan clan, and the Ziji sect were at a complete disadvantage. People were constantly being killed. The Wind Clan was strong and was the strongest in the ancient moon's sacred ground. However, this time, the 10 major forces joined forces and sent out all their experts. They had already completely surpassed them. Experts from the Wind Clan, Wan clan, and Violet Extreme sect were dying one after another. In the sky, the battle between Lu Ming and the Goatee Emperor had entered its final phase. Lu Ming went all out with more than 30% of his energy, surpassing that of a 2-star Great Emperor. Moreover, Lu Ming did not need to defend and only needed to attack. His battle prowess was undoubtedly stronger. The goateed Great Emperor spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Half of his body was struck by Lu Ming's sword light and exploded. He was severely injured. His hair was disheveled and his body was bathed in blood. His aura was getting weaker and weaker. He charged forward with all his might, wanting to escape. But how could Lu Ming let him escape? Lu Ming ignored his defenses and attacked with all his might. His attacks were like a torrential downpour. In the blink of an eye, he had sent out several hundred slashes, completely cutting off his opponent's path of retreat. Ah! The goatee Great Emperor was mad with hatred. He roared madly and was extremely unwilling to accept this. Could it be that he was going to die here today? He wasn't willing to give up. He had come here to kill Lu Ming, not to throw his life away. He was a great emperor. As long as he made it through the great calamity, his lifespan would be endless. He would dominate a region and receive the respect and reverence of countless people. He didn't want to die. He resisted with all his might. But it was useless. Bang! There was a golden saber in his hand. After the continuous battle, it had been shattered into pieces that flew in all directions. Poof! Lu Ming took advantage of the situation and chased after him. He chopped off the other arm of the goatee Great Emperor. The goatee Great Emperor roared, wanting to recover from his injuries. At the Great Emperor realm, as long as one's soul wasn't destroyed, even a drop of blood could be recovered and the body could be rebuilt. But this time, he couldn't do it. His body couldn't recover immediately. This was because Lu Ming's stone sword contained a terrifying destructive power that was constantly destroying his body. After being injured again and having his emperor weapon destroyed, the goatee Great Emperor's battle strength was even weaker. Kill! And Lu Ming's attacks were still violent. He slashed at the goatee Great Emperor's forehead. The forehead was the place where one's soul was stored. If it was hit, death was certain. The goatee Great Emperor tried his best to dodge. In the end, he managed to avoid being hit. But in the end, he didn't manage to dodge completely. He was split into two by Lu Ming's sword. The goatee Great Emperor controlled half of his body and frantically retreated. His face was filled with horror. Kill! Lu Ming continued to attack. Lu Ming, you can't kill me. I'm the Great Emperor of the Mu clan. If you kill me, the Mu clan won't let you go. The goatee Great Emperor roared. You're a great emperor. At this time, you're actually using the Mu clan to threaten me. What a joke. You're talking as if the Mu clan will let me go if I let you go. Go to hell. Lu Ming sneered. His killing intent was incomparably dense as he continued to attack. Swoosh! The battle sword slashed down. It was incomparably huge. It was as big as a mountain and crushed the void. No! The goatee Great Emperor couldn't dodge. He roared hysterically. Bang! The battle sword pressed down. Half of his body directly exploded. His soul roared and wanted to rush out. But it was mercilessly crushed by the battle sword and exploded. His soul was destroyed. A great emperor had fallen. At this moment, everyone who was fighting felt their hearts tremble violently. Stormy waves rose and they couldn't calm down. Great emperors were the pinnacle of the Yuan mountain. They were supreme and ruled over a region. With a stomp of their feet, the entire Yuan mountain would tremble. Such a figure was now dead. He was killed by Lu Ming. Moreover, he was a 2-star great emperor. Kill! The morale of the 10 major forces including the Phoenix Palace greatly increased. As for the Feng clan, Ziji sect, and Wan clan, their morale was greatly reduced. This way, they were even more vulnerable and were constantly being killed. Great Emperor Tianluo was also greatly shocked. He was originally no match for Uncle Kong. At this moment, his mind was greatly shaken. After being swept by Uncle Kong's sword, he immediately vomited a mouthful of blood. Go! Great Emperor Tianluo did not hesitate. He unleashed his full strength and madly rushed out. He successfully rushed out. He turned into a rainbow light and ran for his life. Trying to escape. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with cold light. He threw the Heavenly Emperor's sword in his hand. The Heavenly Emperor's sword turned into a rainbow light. Its speed was extremely fast as it flew towards Great Emperor Tianluo. Block it! Great Emperor Tianluo roared and unleashed his full strength to block the attack. He threw out several Emperor weapons, most of which were true Emperor weapons, hoping to block Lu Ming's sword. As the sword light passed through, the Emperor weapons exploded one by one. Puff! In the end, the sword light swept past Great Emperor Tianluo and almost cut him in half. However, he managed to dodge it in the end and madly fled into the distance. Whoosh! Uncle Kong turned into a sword light and chased after Great Emperor Tianluo. Lu Ming did not chase after him. In order to kill the Great Emperor with the goatee, he had used up too much energy. Now, the energy in the Heavenly Emperor's body had dropped below 10%. With such energy, even if he chased after Great Emperor Tianluo, he might not be able to kill him. Lu Ming waved his hand and kept the Great Emperor's storage ring. At the same time, he called back the Heavenly Emperor's sword and walked towards the Feng clan leader. Lu Ming, I surrender. The Feng clan will never be your enemy. I am willing to compensate you with a large amount of treasures.